Oh, wait, I forgot to tell you. I'm your host, Jada. Welcome back to the show. This is Culture Talk Radio, and this is actually the podcast. Today, we'll be giving you guys the first actual video podcast, so welcome. What does it mean to act black? Now, the reason I really got into this topic was I was online seeing how the Chloe Bailey album, she is a singer, songwriter, producer. She grew up on TV with her sister, and I seen the backlash of her album, but they were saying how she shouldn't be acting in this behavior because she has common sense when she's trying to act like the no common sense. And then I hear people say examples like Summer Walker, Janae Aiko, they dress versus how she dressed and her actions versus their actions. And so I start to ask the question, well, are you saying she's not allowed to act what we call black, or is it she's trying to appeal to the black audience? What are we really saying? And really, before we get into this topic, understand that not everybody's going to agree with their opinion, so be nice in the comment section, please. So, what does it mean to act black? Now, I don't know about you, but growing up, I remember when we grow up and we used to see things that people do, and people be like, oh, I'm gonna act like a black girl. Like you'll see like a white girl or somebody, I'm gonna act like a black girl. I'm like, oh my god, girl, we never seen nothing like that. Yeah. And it's like, we'll tell them not to do that, and then we'll do it. We'll do the actions, and you used to see people just do stuff like that, and like we'll also say, black people are most likely to get pulled over, and which is interesting because my cousin and I were having a conversation on the phone earlier today actually, and she brought up a TikTok about a girl. I guess her mom, she's a mixed race girl, and her mom was in the kitchen, and she asked her mom to record for her, and she started picking up a bag of cotton candy, and she started eating it with a fork. And her mom asked her why she be eating it with a fork. Now this girl, she turned around and she told her mom. It was she said, I don't know, I don't. So she turned around and she told her mom that I didn't want to get caught picking cotton. Like what? There was an argument in the comment section, and I'm gonna tell you why this whole story even makes sense. There was an argument in the comment section about kids and I guess somebody else's kid made a joke, just the same with the dark human, and they were arguing to see basically if this video was okay for what was said. The dark humor was not okay. That was low key, just a low blow. So another mom put in the comment section that her daughter had came home and a boy had cracked the joke because there was cops following a school bus full of kids, and it was black kids in the bus and it was white kids in the bus, different races in the bus. The black kid had stood up on the bus and said, all the black kids duck and all the white kids wave as the cops passed them by. Now that to me was funny as hell. I'm not even gonna lie. Oh, oops. That to me was funny, and I'm not even gonna lie. That it's still like okay, but it still speaks to the stereotypes of acting black. When we see a cop, we duck. If we if we kind of like, okay, I'm trying to put it in a sense that you guys can get it. Like, oh, let's say when we see one black person running, all like black people are going to run. No matter the situations, we run first and then we ask questions later. That that kind of mindset behind how do you act black, you know? So I was also reading an article. Let me pull that up for you guys. I was also reading an article, and I forgot the guy's name. His name was Charleston, and he grew up in a different type of neighborhood, right? He grew up in what we would consider more of the light, white, rich white boy, a rich black boy lifestyle with the more bougier attitude. He acts more like he's what we would can say the white stereo. He's what we would consider be acting like the white black boy, or not all the way black. He's acting too white. Okay. So, and he's a light skinned black boy, and he was phenotypically white and everything. He grew up in a different type of neighborhood, okay? And so he said that his friends always used to tease him and tell him he wasn't black enough, or you weren't acting black enough. So that still asks my questions again. What do you mean by how do you act black? Um, it's like our behavior and the thoughts behind it, right? And there was a study, I guess, by Harvard University in 2013, asking white students, because he went from a white perspective in his article, talking about how white kids felt like they were mostly discriminated upon and all this other stuff. And a lot of the times that we try to appease our peers as black people, as in our black culture, to try to appease each other and do stuff, we have to act black and get our black points and keep our black card, if you know what I mean. And that sets the conversation still. It's like, well, you got a point. So what makes us black, and what makes our how to act black culture? How do we start that? So we let's talk about the list of things like that I can remember growing up hearing all the time, even with the stereotypes from the chicken and the watermelon, when there's still truth in some of those jokes. Not all black people, eats watermelon or drinks Kool-Aid or any of that thing. Some of them can't drink Kool-Aid because of health issues and other things like that, or allergies from like different food allergies. So you never know. Um I remember just growing up and the jokes that we had to hear and the things they would say about your skin, and like, oh, you're just a dirty little, monkey, and things like that. And just I remember there was a point in time in my life where I really didn't understand my blackness as a whole. And I'm not even gonna lie. It's to me it was a sad point in my I can say now that I'm older and I'm thinking back on it, that's a sad point in my life. Where I didn't understand my blackness so much that I think as a kid I had out of my mouth said about another black kid in my classroom, I don't like him. He's too ghetto and ratchet. And he acts too ghetto. Me diminishing my own actual culture, which was kind of like sad. And I was a kid, and I wish and I can take that back. And that's just something I wish I could take. I could take that back. Now, so again, as we're gonna continue on the topic of what does it mean to act black? Well, out there to my black peers, what do you what I just really want to get the question out there, because I know what we mean when we say we act. Well, let's talk about this conversation from a point of what does it mean to act white? Okay, I'm gonna actually take that point in that article because now I see where he's coming from. What does it mean to act white, right? We're not talking about our country white, because we know there's different types of white. I'm talking about your valley girl. Oh my god, girl, like where do you I want to go get my Starbucks and I want to go get me a caramel latte and I'm gonna turn up. I want to listen to some Billie Eilish and take drugs and stuff. like that phenotypical personality Valley Girl personality type of act white, right? From behaviors to calling polices for people on the barbecue, which we now know as the Karen aesthetic. What we call our Karens today, we just called it white bullshit. Okay, I might have to bleep out what I just said, but I said what I said. It was complete white bullshit. And so there was also stereotypes about us and the police, which again stems from a different conversation. Because that's not even just the way that it was stereotypes with police. It was those stereotypes was oh, black people have to duck from the police. Well, we wouldn't have to duck from the police if the police didn't always have to, harass us and make us always out to be criminals and hoodlums and things that they think that we are, but we're not. Because some of us are pretty educated out here and we got coin, baby. mm. Let's not act like we don't know. Because we know. Yeah, we wouldn't have to if there was there's a stereotype about the police and us, but it also is some truth behind it because it speaks the truth about the systematical ways in which black folks are harassed. Black men, especially with the police and stuff and the justice system, being harassed just based off the color of their skin and the way and just them walking home and just them doing this and they're accused of a crime because somebody described a black man. Now, I was watching a clip on YouTube. Let me just take this. I was watching a clip on Ewu Crew and it was about this woman and these old couple that was beat to death. And rest in peace to the husband who passed away. The wife, they were well into their ages. They were at least in their 70s to 80s, maybe 90s. They were well into their age, and a young black man had walked in the house using a spatula to beat them over their head and attempted to rob them, but he walked in there intoxicated, by the way. By the end of the story, we found that the boy was intoxicated and everything else. But before they even caught that boy, the one officer had traveled, and I caught this part of the video, and it made me really, really upset because it speaks the truth about the systematical ways in which we are very much discriminated upon. Um, I remember just watching the video, and I remember we were sitting there, and there was I was watching this video, and the guy was driving down the street. Right, the police officer was driving to go look for the man because they couldn't find out. The man was just in the okay. Here's the funny part: the boy was standing by the front door when the police had arrived, and so he had walked away when the officers ran inside. But the cops show the camera crew was also there, so they also caught that man. They also had caught him on the video camera and everything. He had walked away. So when officers went out to go look, saying, "Oh, somebody was just standing here wearing the clothes that the woman had described the man to be wearing," and they were like, there was a man just standing outside the door. He couldn't have gotten far. The officer goes drives down the street and sees another man walking down. Black man walks down the street, and he says, "Oh, buddy, I believe you were in a crime. You look like you must have did something," and put him in the back of the cop car and said, "You look like our guy. Are you sure this could be our guy? He couldn't have gotten far." And the officers over there like, "Oh no, that's not the guy. Yeah, no, it's not what he looks like." It took for another officer to come all the way there, look at the guy and look at him in his face and tell him, "No, that's not him. Like, let him go. That's not what we're looking for." But that man really was sitting there pressing the issue about that possibly could have been him. "You sure this isn't the guy? We just said no 4 or 5 thousand times. No, it's not the guy." Now, as we divulge off that topic, it was a way in which we were discriminated upon, and I didn't even like that. That right there was shady, and I didn't appreciate what happened in that at all. So like move on to the next topic. But yeah, it's just like we are treated in a bad way. So what do you expect us to behave like at the end of the day when it comes to police officers? We're going to like avoid. So that speaks on that just that section of what we're talking about. Now, if we want to get into the way that we speak in our ebonics, that was another point of view that I wanted to get on. It was the way that we speak in our ebonics. If you don't say this, why you acting a girl? Why you talking all proper and stuff? Cause we act black like you over here like, excuse me, ma'am. Can I get a? You want her to turn around and be like, remember, like your friend would be like, you don't walk up and say that. But be like, bitch, can I get my shit and stuff like that. And it's just like stuff that that most black people would say we were supposed to do. And I'm like, in my head, I'm like, yes, but there's still variations to who we are as black people. When we try to appease to each other, I'm not even gonna lie, we do try to appease. We be like, we trying to gas on each other, like talking jokes to your friends, cracking jokes on your friends. That was a black thing. Oh, you go over there and gas on them and let them know about themselves, read and speak and stuff like that. That was mostly and coming out of the black culture, from the black gays, from the black uh, rappers dissing each other. And we feel like our culture sometimes can be robbed. I mean, we often are robbed. We are definitely robbed of our culture. Um, yeah, can you guys stop robbing our culture, please? Like, I just want my culture back. But what does it mean to act black? It's our behavior. Like I said right now. Actually, I think I just said the word for it. Culture. What is our culture? It's like, how do you act black? I'm speaking upon our culture, basically. What are we as a culture? What is our behavior? And like for that understanding for me, I didn't understand my blackness all the way. So when I said that to that boy when I was a little kid, I didn't appreciate that. Now that I'm older, because I was like that was wrong because I didn't understand who I was as a black person, but I didn't think that that's how I'm supposed to behave. I was taught to be more proper and to be more not like that all the time. That to switch my coat when I'm in front of the white supremacy audience, to act more, you know, I'm up here, I'm polished, and I'm right here and ready to work, that kind of idea. So for me, what I kind of what's what I'm trying to get to the point of. What I'm trying to get to is like, is there a specific aesthetic that we're supposed to be following and understanding? Because what I don't understand is, how do we act black? I mean, it's so many ways. It's like, does that make sense? Does the sentence even make sense? Does the question even make sense? And that's what I want to know from you out there in the world, my fellow black people, my fellow sisters and brothers, my kings and queens. Um, what does that mean for you, as far as what does it mean to act black, and what does it mean to be black? And I know for me, I can ask you the question for myself. What does it mean to be black? For me, it means to be proud, to be okay of your skin, and not to be able to have strength and fight no matter what the outside world tries to tear you down and tell you that you cannot do, that this is not okay. And even though in our own culture we attack each other also, which we're gonna get to that in a whole different video, baby girl. That is a huge topic. We gotta stop tearing each other down, y'all. But that what I do is not okay. What you do is not okay. That being black essentially is just not okay. And that's wrong. But what does it mean to act black? Well, how would you describe us to act black? What is our culture? How will we know who we are if we're constantly erased? And we're constantly limited and not given the full chance in which we can pursue what we're doing, you know? The society always will tear us down as a whole. And I still want to know, it's like, because we talk about how we speak, the things that we say, like how we don't pronounce all the words and how we drag on our sentences or the way that we speak, or we cuss a lot. And that's a thing that they always say, we cuss a lot. And that's because they hear it in the music. Baby girl, don't get the music mixed up with the people now. Because we don't always cuss, but we will cuss you out real quick. Um, and you guys are going to probably eat it up like hell. But I want you guys to also be grateful. Like I said, in the comment section, please be nice to each other. Because I'm going to ask you guys this question. I'm asking you guys this question because I don't even really know like that. I can only say what I grew up in and what I've experienced, what I've gotten told in my lifetime, which was don't you know certain things you don't do that is not black. That's white people shit. What we would say, white people shit. We don't do that white people shit. That's white folks shit. We do black folks shit. We mind our business. White folks be out there nosy, but black folks be nosy too. And then you're like, white folks call the cops. We don't cop people. We don't call the cops on our own people, girl. But black folks, we do call the cops on our own people, okay? And we be snitching and we be nosy. And we do just the same as everybody else. I mean, we do trifling shit. White folks do trifling shit too, just the same as I feel like there's different variations to black folks. There is not all the same black. And that's what the problem is. There's that stereotype that all black folks act alike or all black folks look alike. Though, is that your cousin right there? No, this is just because I see somebody in the store across the room. I'm supposed to know them because they're black. No, baby girl, that's not how that works. That's just not. It really isn't reality. It is not. And I wish we can come. The world that we've been through and we've come to today, it's amazing because man, I never figured that I was going to be sitting here asking myself this question: what does it mean to act black? Because at this point, I'm gonna be real with you, I don't even fucking know. And you got your Ari Lennox's, and you got your Beyonce's. You got it's different variations to being black. You have your Simone Biles. Who I hope I said her last name right. You gotta be Simone. You got your different. You got a Megan Ashley. It's different variations to being black in this world, and so therefore, I still want to ask the question: what does it mean to act black? And is that even a valid question to be asked? And is there such thing as acting black? What do you think? Let me know in the comment section, and we'll see you guys on the next episode of Closer Talk Radio Podcast. I'm your host, ZJ. As of right now, we're going to tell you guys my official name on Instagram very, very soon. But I hope you guys come back to the show. Um, please, please, please be nice in the comment section. This was just a conversation I wanted to have with myself right now. I wanted to have a little sit down on the couch, with you guys, and actually ask that question and really break it down with myself right now and try to figure it out. Because what does it mean to act black? I know for me, when I concluded, I said acting black is just about having my power and having my strength and being able to walk in my strength. Again, no matter what society has basically thrown at you and try to make you feel like you're less than, because they will make you feel like you're less than. And I've experienced it, and there's many of you out there who's also experienced it. So therefore, I just wanted to have that conversation and put it out there for you guys to also take that conversation. Because what does it mean to act black? I'm going to list you that article down below in the section in the description box below. Make sure you guys follow me on Instagram at Zeki_Sass. That is ZEAKY_SASS. but there will be possible news and name change coming because some legal problems. So please keep following your girl, and we'll see you very, very soon. Goodbye.